Hi everyone, this is Karen for OHC. Welcome to Creating Space, and today we're going to talk about finding love. And with us from Australia, 3 hours into the future, is Gian Gureng, a certified access consciousness facilitator. Hi,
Hello.
Gian.
Hello again. It's nice to be back. How are you going?
We are so honored that you're here with us today, and I'm really well. Just with the conversation on the messenger, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be an interesting discussion because you're saying, how about we talk about what is love really? Does it really exist? And what if everything we've been taught about relationships is a lie? And I was thinking, oh my gosh, are people
Hmm.
ready to receive this? Especially people from the Philippines. Let me
I know. Yeah, exactly that. It's like, okay. What is it that that we'll bring up and talk about? And yeah, any clarity or what are really the truths and the lies that we were taught about relationship growing up? And yeah, and we all know that, like, coming from that society of the expectation and the projections and what that does to us and our choices when it comes to relationships.
Yeah, so let's get the ball rolling. People are here, and we're asking you
Hello.
earlier, are you ready to talk about love and to learn about the lies of love? But first, let's define terms. What is love?
Good question. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys first. I'm going to throw the question back to you. So, what have you defined love is for you that it isn't? And I'm going to use the access consciousness clearing statement. Um, that you can find more information at www.theclearingstatement.com. So it's like a magic wand that clears any kind of stuck points or limitations that you have. So going back to the question, so what is love for you? And everything that brings up, that it brings up, like get the sense of that energy. Does it go like, ugh? Or does it make you smile? Or does it make you go hopeful? Everything that is, are you now willing to destroy and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, buckle, nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah, and what have you defined love is that makes you always be the damsel in distress, waiting for the knight in shining armor on a white horse that would come and waiting for the one and the right one. And everything. That brings up, whoa. This story none created all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, buckle, nine shorts, boys, and girls. Very interesting because it's actually really cold here right now. But I could sense the energy, like the warmth. Like,
Off of it. Because this is
yeah.
such a very interesting topic, interesting point of view, like the knight in white armor. And girls grew up listening to fairy tales and reading
Oh,
fairy tales
yes.
and watching movies about this prince who will come and save them. And it's like, seriously? Did
Yep.
that exist?
Yeah, what if you are the lady on the white horse in shining armor? What if it's something else? Yeah, and everything that brings up, destroy and uncreate it all, right, wrong, good, bad, put, buckle, nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. So you asked me earlier, so what really is love? So
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. So when someone tells you, I love you, what do they really mean? And when you say, I love you to someone else, like, what is that for you? Are both of you in the same, how they say, like, in the same wavelength? Like, are you talking about the same thing or the same level? Or does that come with an expectation of, now that I've said those three magic words, what what will our relationship be like right now? Okay, so it's that's where the confusion lies. And so each of these two persons that are in a relationship, which, by the way, yeah, we've learned this in geometry growing up in school. Relationship is the distance between 2 points. So the moment that you actually declare that you're in a relationship, you've already created that distance, that separation, and like having conditions. I know they say unconditional love, but for it to be unconditional, there already have been conditions that were created by either parties. Like, oh, I love you if you do this, this, and this. Or now that I said I love him, he'll probably change and he will stop his vices or, the drinking and the smoking and the going out with his friends. But come to think of it, like, is that really what love is? So, what I invite you guys to consider is something different about relationships. And what if it's really about you honoring that person for who he or she truly bees, instead of, oh, I love you when you're doing these, and these, but not really when you don't want to take the trash out. Um, oh, I haven't said the word trash for a long time because we call it rubbish. Yeah, if you don't wash the dishes or what have you. So, what if we are actually in this could be a new concept for you guys, in intimacy, total intimacy with yourself and the other person, which is comprised of five aspects: honor, trust, vulnerability, gratitude, and allowance. And
That's
everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive, all of it is like, oh, what are those five words? Destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad,
very much
calculations, boys and
honor.
beyonds.
Honor was a big word when you said you have to honor yourself first, as well as honor the other party, other person. That was
Yes.
huge.
Yeah, exactly. Because like honoring yourself in someone is like acknowledging you and your greatness and your brilliance and seeing that in somebody else as well. Like when I first used that word to my partner, we've been together for almost 9 years. And because he's so into like, no, if you don't use the word love, like it's not good. And when I started using the words of the five elements of intimacy, I said, I actually really adore you for being you. I I'm total honoring of you, and like showing by actions, or I'm truly grateful for who you are and who you be. And like I could see his world melt. Like at first he didn't know what to do with it. It's like what's that? And then he finally like got the energy of it, and you could see how like different like his world expands and is much brighter. So
Mm,
one thing that I would like to also say is when you are in a space of gratitude, so that's one of the five elements of intimacy, judgment can never exist. Because what a lot of people tie up with love is there are already judgments there.
mm.
But in gratitude, in the space of gratitude, judgment cannot exist.
That's interesting. Judgment cannot exist in the space of
In the
gratitude.
space of gratitude. Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
And see how much space that already creates. Just us
Talking about
tapping
that.
into that energy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
We've dropped all projections and expectations, judgments and rejections that we've created, like with these definitions of love that we've tied into.
Right, right. And I agree with you. Like gratitude, when I say I honor you or when I say I'm grateful for you, it's more expansive and it's lighter versus when I say I love you. Because when you say I love you, there's just so many expectations. What do you mean? What do you mean when you say I love you? What is it really? There's
Yeah,
so many questions.
there's actually an acronym in Access Consciousness, that love is an acronym for lower oscillating vibrational equivalence. That we tend
Mhm.
to vibrate in the same lower level as someone else. In the process, we are cutting off parts and pieces of ourselves, of who we truly be. And I know that we've had a chat about this earlier, Karen, about
Yeah.
yeah, like stopping or cutting parts of you just to keep the relationship or to make yourself fit into society. Oh, I'd rather have a relationship that's crappy rather than having no relationship
Right.
and
That's
everything
why
that
it's
brings
such
up.
a
This is
yeah,
try and uncreate it all. I'm
good.
just gonna clear that. Right,
Yes.
wrong, good, bad,
Yeah.
good, powerful, and trust, boys and beyond.
Beyond. Yeah. And it's true. People are afraid to be alone. Why is that? Like,
Ah, good
and sometimes
question.
people really just get stuck. They prefer to get stuck in a relationship than be happy being alone. And
Yeah. So,
what's
what
up
do you
with
think
that?
are the projections and expectations in the society where we've grown up in, where we grew up in,
Hmm.
and what where we've learned how to be in a relationship? Yeah.
Mhm.
So, tap into that. Like, where do we really get that? And what if you can actually have your own reality with
Mhm.
relationship that works for you? That what if instead of, oh, as long as I have a relationship, that's it. I'll be happy and like
Right.
I won't have any problems anymore. But what if you can ask a different question, such as, what would it take for me to have a relationship that is true, honoring, trust, vulnerability, gratitude, and allowance?
Oh, that's so beautiful.
And even with yourself, because like this is not just to be to have the elements of intimacy with somebody else, but also with yourself and all the other relationships that you have in your life. We have this term that's called instead of relationships, because we've already said that the definition is the distance between two objects. Like, what if it could be more of a creationship
Oh, I heard that
rather than relationship?
phrase a lot of times.
Yes, yes,
Creation.
because if you're going to create a relationship or a creationship, it should create something greater, not diminish either one of
Oh,
you. Yeah,
right.
in the relationship. So, the authors of a relationship, Are You Sure You Want One? Simone Milasas and Brendan Watt, they were saying that if you're going to like be in a relationship, like you would need to be creating at least 10 or 18 times more than you would if you were creating something by yourself. So having that choice of
Mm.
being in a relationship creationship with someone else should be to create something way greater than what you would have if you were creating something by yourself. So it has that generative, expansive energy. Yeah. But what you would usually happen is, not saying it in all relationships, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of this growing up is that, oh, so now that you are both in a relationship, um, now you're not allowed to do this, this, and this. You cannot hang out with these people anymore. It's just going to be you and I, and that's it. And we actually like stop ourselves from doing the things that we truly enjoy.
True.
Yeah, yeah, whether that be, being with other friends that you would choose to hang out with, or even having some um, nurturing me time. Because
Yeah.
I do like enjoy having the time with my partner, but I also enjoy having some time with
Right.
myself.
True. True.
Yeah,
And
and not cutting yourself in the
yeah.
process. So when we say cutting yourself, it's like, yeah, so you stop doing the things that you used to enjoy doing, or you tend to be like not you, like you tend to behave in a different way when you're in that relationship
Relationship.
mode, yeah, than when you're not next to that person that you're in a relationship with. So what if, yeah, we stop divorcing ourselves, stop
Right.
cutting parts and pieces of ourselves to be in a relationship. And my invitation, guys, is relationship, what aspects of relationship really is your reality, what works for you. So
Mm.
be clear on that, um, and not having to uh, reference, so have a reference point on, oh, a relationship must look like this because we see it on TV or we've seen it with the people that we've grown up with. But what is it really for you? What is true for you? I was just so I'm in my theater room in my house, and outside this room is our living area, and there's a TV. We call TV
Yeah.
telly outside, and so the telly was on, and I thought that my partner was here watching, but he had to go somewhere, and it was this show that's I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but here in Australia there's a show called Married at First Sight. So
No.
people get matched and they've never met each other before, only at the altar just before, like, they get married. And you could already
Seriously?
sense, yes, they
Oh my
haven't, so
gosh.
they, no idea, yeah, who the person they're going to marry. They just tell their families that, oh yeah, I'm getting married to a stranger. I don't know who. Like you could already like sense the energy of what that creates and all the projections, expectations,
Expectations as well. Okay.
separations, judgments, and rejections
Yeah.
that gets created from there. And like, oh, I hope he's the one. I hope this is the happily ever after.
Mm.
Can I
Wow.
can I explode more brains?
Yes, you are
Yeah.
already blowing our minds right here.
I know,
You
I
know
could
what?
sense it. It's a bit messy. There's like brain explosions everywhere. We gotta, clean that up. Okay, now here's the thing. For those people who are hoping and waiting for the one, the right one, the truth is, I'm sorry, guys, there is no the one.
Mm.
Yep, there is no the right one. What
Right.
if it's because how many of us in our lives, like whichever stage of our lives we are in, that we think that, oh, once I find the one, we're going to be doing this together and this, and I'm going to be traveling with him. We're going to build a family with 2.5 kids and a dog with a house and a white picket fence, and we're going to go shopping together. Like, but what if that person that you have defined and declared as the one doesn't want to do all those things?
Right.
Do you have my question, Karen, and for you guys watching this now and in the future is, do you have so for instance for the ladies, do you have guy friends that you love going shopping with because they're just fun?
Yeah. Gay friends. More gay friends.
Yeah, yeah. Or you have like a specific friend. So this could be for gentlemen as well. Um, Friends of the opposite sex that, yeah, you just love, because let's say you love dancing, and this friend of yours just really love dancing, but your partner doesn't, like, actually hates doing that.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and yeah. So you can't really expect like that person that you've defined as your one and only to be doing all of these things for you and with you.
True.
Yeah, because that's not giving them choice and the space to be themselves.
Yes.
And everything that that brings up, and all the brains exploding in the room. Can we now destroy and create all that? From Drunk with Bad Boy, Buckle Nine Short
Our
Swords,
choice
and
boys and beyond. Okay, let me just absorb that. There is no the one.
the
Because
one.
right. Because you're saying that we can have creationships with different people and we don't
Yes.
necessarily have to be in
It's
a
not like
relationship.
you're going to go home with all of them and
Exactly.
marry them and
Yeah.
sleep with all of them. You may if you want to. Again, explosion. But
Yeah.
it's just a choice.
Yeah. I was thinking, what if you have someone to go shopping with, someone to have dancing with, someone to watch movies with, and somebody
Yes.
somebody you'd like to go home to.
Yes,
All
or
different
with.
people. And why not?
Yeah.
And I was thinking,
Yeah.
people in the Philippines are like, what are you saying?
Saying. What are you talking about? You're shaking up our paradigms, things that we were taught growing up. Yeah, and that's
Because we've been
I
fed
think
that lie. To be honest, I'll call it that lie. We've been fed that lie that there's one true love and there's forever
yeah.
and there's a Prince Charming waiting for you.
And my soulmate. He's
Yes,
somewhere there, out there for me.
so
Yeah. What if
true.
not just one person? What it could be many different people. And again, it's a choice. Um, I just want to go into this. We That's why I did tell you that we may go somewhere else.
Yes, yes.
How many of you have considered that being in a relationship or having a relationship is a necessity or a need? When we go to that space of need, it actually takes us to a space of lack.
Mhm.
So again, need is lack. What if relationship could be a choice instead of a necessity? And everything that does not allow you to perceive, no, be and receive that, you know, destroy and create it all. Right, wrong, good,
Wrong
bad.
choice, bad and
What backlash,
choice,
what
boys
stories,
and
and
beyond.
beyond. Yeah,
True.
it is a choice. And um, one of the tools that you could add into your toolbox, we've already had a few,
That's
is
a lot of fools already.
destroying and create your relationships every day. What? Destroy and uncreate your relationship every day. So are you wanting to break up with the person that you're with, or do you want a divorce? Like, no. So when we destroy and uncreate something, so every morning I wake up and I go, everything that my relationship was with, and then I say my partner's name, Evan. So was everything that it was, and now destroy and uncreate it all. And that when you destroy and uncreate something, it doesn't like destroy what you have, because you cannot destroy something that's true and real for you. So
True.
it actually allows your relationship creationship with that person to be different, to be
Mhm.
greater.
Mhm.
And what if you also destroy and create the relationships that you have with certain members of your family that you're not having such a great time with, and
Yeah.
even friends? Yeah. And see what that creates for you in your world. So
I'll,
destroy and create your relationships every day with your
I'll
partner, with your
ask,
friends.
yeah, I'll
So
boomerang that question back to you. What does it create for you? Because it's like a new concept for me. Destroying
yes,
and uncreating
uncreate.
relationship.
Yes, it allows you to function from a new space every day. So if you recall, like, you know, when we were kids, we would have like a magic slate, and then we would write things and then erase it again. So I'm just gonna use that analogy that every morning, everything that was there, wipe it up clean. It's not to discount whatever you've had before, but your relationship from this moment on forward is not because of what was that experience beforehand. And you invite something greater and different to show up. How many times have we like had relationships with friends or with previous boyfriends, girlfriends, and partners that, uh, you I remember the time when you did this to me, and that energy is still very much heavy and solid, as if it's just happened, and it keeps looping back to that. Okay, not to forget that, it's okay, they can step on me. It's not about that. It's not being a doormat. Yeah, but from whatever that had created is now something we can start that's different and that's new.
Wow. So it's like
Okay,
creating more space
yes,
for both of
exactly
you.
that. Yeah, and it gives you more choice, and it gives the other person choice as well.
Right,
Yeah, and
right.
even so when I said before that, yeah, relationships is a choice and not a necessity, like choose what's your reality with relationships. It even, yeah, allows the person to be themselves. Like what if they'd like to choose something different, and asking every day, truth, is this relationship still what I'm choosing right now?
Mm,
Right, wrong, good, bad, but buckle, nine shorts, boys and beyonds. That could be
mhm.
daunting to a lot of people because, like, oh no, what if I get a no one day?
Yes.
You keep asking questions.
So
So
if you
when,
get a no one day, will you just walk out the door or ask him to walk out the door?
good question. What if you can ask more questions like, truth, is this really true for me? Or
Mhm.
who does
This
this
belong to.
belong to? And even perhaps indulge. So I'm using like the word indulge in that, like, what would my life be like in 5 years if I end this relationship now?
Mm,
Sense what's light or what's heavy for you. So remember, what's light is what's true for you, and what's heavy, it's a lie.
right.
And if I don't stay in this relationship, what will that create? If I stay in this relationship, what
What?
would this create? It's allowing you to have, and your partner, choice every single day to be able to choose.
Right. You know what? I think I got an answer now with the question I asked you earlier. Because I asked you earlier. You know what? I love with access people, I love having access consciousness people over because first they're very very happy, and also because they're
Crazy happy.
crazy happy. That's number one. Number two, they're willing to receive. And I think it's the answer to why they're happy is because of choice. Because they're
Yes.
open to choosing every 10 seconds, even, right?
And no attachment to what that would look like. And I got the sense of the energy that when I said that, like, yeah, ask every day, like, will I still want to be in a relationship? I sense a lot of people went like, ugh. It's like, how much of us do we want to like hold on to something and never let it go, squeeze it so hard until it screams out loud? So imagine if someone would have that energy with you, like, no, you're just here, you're not going to go anywhere, and holding you really tight. Would you want to stay? Or would you want to just, oh, stop this,
Slide.
I'm going to go, I can't breathe?
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
and not allowing them to choose whatever they'd like to choose. So yeah, so having that question and that energy, that, yeah, so if I actually like hold on tight to this, would I want to stay if that happened to me, or would actually invite me to just keep choosing, to just keep choosing.
And so, if you're saying that you can choose to stay or leave, then breakups don't need to be hard. It doesn't need to be heartbreaking.
Yes. And thank you for bringing that topic in, because like there's another class that I facilitate that's called breaking up is easy-ish. um what if, like, instead of, okay, break up, that's it, heartache, crying, no eating, depressed, just locking myself in the room, what if we ask questions like, have I already contributed what I needed to contribute to this person, and has he or she already contributed um, to me, and that's it, that it's time to like to move on.
Move
It's
on.
more of a like, what gift has this person been to me?
Yeah.
And it's, again, when you get into that space of gratitude, it's just so impossible to judge someone else.
Mm,
What's the gift of being in this relationship? Of what gift has this person been to me? What am I
mm.
grateful for about myself being in this relationship?
Oh,
And
I
everything
love
that does
that.
not allow you to perceive, not being received that, I just love that space. Destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad,
Wrong with the bad pod and
short
online shorts, boys and
and
beyond.
beyonds.
It's true, because well, I'm trying it out right now because I just had not breaks up with break. I just had some relationship issues, which went. And now I was thinking last week I was really really mad about it. Uh,
Mhm.
but now that you're saying, what if instead of judging that they did something wrong or I did something wrong, what if you say I'm grateful for that person? And now that I'm saying, and for those persons, because relationships can be with
Yeah,
friends, right, or with
yeah, it could
family.
be business partners. Yeah, for
Business partners.
this.
It doesn't have to be like
Yeah,
a loved one.
yeah,
So now that you're saying that, and I tried it right away, and all the judgments are gone.
just
Like,
got dispersed, isn't it? Just dispels
mm,
the hatred, the
yeah,
heart, the whatever thoughts, feelings, and emotions we've put into that. Like it just like where is it gone? Yeah, it's gone because it's actually not real, or it's actually probably
true.
not yours. Yeah, and how much of us have we bought into this reality, projecting onto us that yeah, oh, when you break up with someone, you shouldn't be friends with them. You should do this and not do that. Yeah, and everything that brings up, destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, bottle, and shots, boys, and beyond.
Like what you said, what if our part with their story is over? What if we have to move on and we just have to be grateful for the contribution that that person or persons have
Yes,
been through? It's like,
yes, and still asking every day, yeah, will it still be a contribution to myself and to this person to continue being in this relationship or creationship?
oh,
Yeah. Funny story. So like past relationships, like I wouldn't have thought or perceived things this way. Of course,
mhm,
life before access. And
mhm,
but I already got the sense of the energy of the gratitude piece, like when a relationship tends to end. And I remember before migrating here to Australia, I ended a relationship that I had with someone. And at first, I was judging myself because I was so happy after the
after the
conversation.
breakup.
Yes, and it was just so light and expansive, and I was like, it was like a little kid that I wanted to do cartwheels, and I was
Mhm.
like truly, truly grateful for this man and
Yeah.
what he contributed to me in his life, in my life, when we
Mhm.
were together, and I I was like finding the wrongness of me at that time. Like, how come I don't feel sad? How come I'm not
Right.
depressed? I'm not crying. But
Mhm.
yeah, this actually something that I tapped into. Okay, I'll acknowledge myself. Yes, so gratitude dispels judgment. And it's just so hard to go into that space of judgment and hatred when you're truly in a space of gratitude.
And what you're saying now is breakups can be fun.
It could be,
You can
and
be
again,
happy,
it's a
even
choice. It's a
yeah.
choice every day how you'd like that to be. Yeah. And it's not like, okay, I'll go and break up with my relationship right now. I can ask
Mhm.
the question, like, what is really true for you? Would
Right.
staying in this relationship be expansive or will it diminish? So I do still ask that question every day. So with this relationship that I have right now, like would this actually expand my future? Does this create more? And it has. And still keep asking every single day.
I love. Speaking
Yeah.
of asking, people are here. Hi, Zai. Zai is here, and I don't know what the Facebook user is, but at this point, we'd love you to be part of this conversations.
Yes,
Conversation.
questions.
Please ask your questions so Gian can answer you. She's from the future. That's our joke.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I live in the future, 3 hours into the future.
She's 3 hours. Australia's 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So there. So she can answer your questions. But you so many things already. We talk about gratitude. We haven't touched trust. We talk about
Oh,
vulnerable
okay.
honoring already. right?
Yes, and gratitude.
And gratitude. We haven't touched
Um,
vulnerability.
okay,
Trust, yeah.
so we still have vulnerability,
Trust
trust, and
and
allowance.
allowance. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, which one would like to be talked about first? Trust. Okay, trust is jumping out. So trust is not, like hoping that this person would change. Oh, once we get married or once we're together, he's
Mm.
going to he'll actually behave better, and then he'll stop smoking, he'll stop drinking, he'll put the toilet seat down. like guys, come on, you're not training a dog. You're with a person. And trusting is actually having that so trusting that someone will do whatever they're meant to do. Okay,
Mhm.
for example, I'll give a statement. I
Mhm.
trust that my partner will never put the toilet seat down whenever he uses the
Mhm.
toilet. And before, it used to do my head in. And it's like, so now we have three bathrooms in the house that we built together. And it's like, that's all right, it's okay. So what is right about this? I'm not getting. It's I go into the space of, oh yeah, that I'll just have to be aware and check. Always check and make sure, and I can just put it down. Yeah, there are times that he does put the toilet seat down, but there are times that he doesn't. And now me with that destroying my relationship every day tool that I've told you about, like it just
Mhm.
doesn't have that energy in me anymore. And
Yeah.
that's going into a space I'm gonna tie it up with allowance.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So allowance is when so allowance is not being like a doormat that people will just step on you and you don't do anything. So
Mhm.
when you're in allowance, so imagine like a rock on a stream. The water just flows around you on the sides of you, and you never get washed away. That's when you're in being in an interesting point of view
Mhm.
space with yourself. No alignment or agreement, and not
Mhm.
even resisting or reacting. Huh, that's an interesting point of view. Don't have to say it out loud and say, that's an interesting point of view. You actually have a point of view when you say it like that.
I think there's judgment there.
Yes, yes. And it's like having your barriers down and you expand into a space of limitless space. And it's like,
Yes.
huh, interesting that that's their point of view. Hmm.
Hmm.
And
So
it's just, yeah, listening to that and yeah, allowing that point of view without you getting affected. So with
that.
his not putting the toilet seat down, it doesn't have this heavy earth energy on me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I said, like I trust that he will never put the toilet seat down. And so there was actually one time when I said, okay, so this bathroom is just for you, and this bathroom is just
It's
for
just
me.
for me.
It worked for a while, but then like again, because the energy of the heavy energy that is not there anymore with me. So yep,
Mm.
the interesting point of view tool must be working its magic on me, and I'd like to have more of that, please.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
beautiful. How about vulnerability? Where does
vulnerability.
that come
Oh,
in?
yes, vulnerability. So for a question for everyone. So everything that you've been taught or everywhere where you have defined vulnerability as that it isn't. Will you now just join and create all of that, please? Right, wrong, or
Where
bad on both dimensions,
questions, boys and
beyonds. Yeah, because initially, like the word vulnerability to me was like one of the confusing ones of all the five elements of intimacy.
Mhm.
Yeah, because um, growing up, like I thought vulnerability is like showing your weakness and like you're gonna be too emotional, you're gonna be so soft hearted, yeah, whether that's like in a good way or a bad way. But
Mhm.
like vulnerability is like again, tying it up to allowances, like allowing you to be in a space of like no barriers. So
Mm-hmm.
some people would even describe it as being the open wound, like you're not hiding from yourself or hiding yourself or any part of you, but you're actually being true to like what is going on with
Mm-hmm.
you, and
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging that and being truly open and honest to yourself. A lot of us would actually be more honest with other people and lie to ourselves, but what if we could also be true vulnerability with ourselves?
That's first. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where you get to have more awareness instead of like covering things up and building this invisible wall.
Right.
So everywhere where you may have misidentified or misapplied what vulnerability is, can you now destroy and uncreate out of that? Right,
Right
wrong, bad,
around
ugly,
that and back on short
boys
stories,
and
simple.
beyond. Yes, so honor,
Wow.
trust, vulnerability, gratitude, and allowance. So those
Nice.
are the five elements of intimacy. And what would it take for you to have total intimacy with you and with the creationships that you'd like to create? All you have to do is ask for it, choose it, and ask for it.
Wow. You made it so simple. Like, given those five elements, like, yes, you can find love. You can find love with yourself and love with another person if that's what you choose. Thank
Yes, yes,
you.
exactly. Yeah. And anywhere and everywhere we've actually expected that we would find whatever it is that we're looking for in somebody else.
Mhm.
Like again, like oh, once I'll find love and happiness in someone else. Here's the thing, guys. You are the source of creation.
Mhm.
Whatever it is that you've created your life as now, as it looks like right now, is a result or an outcome of the choices that you've made. So you can actually, you're the only one who could really change it in everything that brings hope, destroy and create it all. Right, wrong, good,
Right,
bad,
wrong, good,
pop,
bad,
up, online,
it's
short,
boy,
boys, and
it's gonna be
beyond.
us. You know what? It's like a whoosh of power when you said you are the source of creation. It
Yeah,
feels like it felt like you just gave
exactly that.
everyone their power back.
Yeah, and I'll have more of that for myself. Yeah, like I'm truly acknowledging and honoring myself of my greatness. That yeah, I am the source of creation in my life. Like money isn't like money is just the byproduct of the choices that I've made and me choosing joy in everything that I do and I choose. Okay,
Yeah.
so again, it would still be you are the source of creation, not somebody else, not something else, but you are.
Wow, that's so beautiful. I receive that. And Gian, how will they get in touch with you? You've given us so many tools. But
I
if they want
know.
more, how can they get in touch with you?
Yes. So you can check out my public profile at the Access Consciousness website. It's www.accessconsciousness.com/Giancarla Gureng.
Okay. And Lali will also put that link as a comment section
Thank you.
below. But also, what are your upcoming programs so they can learn more from you and get more
Yes.
tools?
I know that the next one that I'm coming up with is locally in Melbourne. So maybe you'd
Mhm.
like to come to Melbourne. I'm hosting what's called a pop or party of possibilities for the Access Bars class that's going to be facilitated by Brendan Watt. That's live in the US. Oh no, I think he's gonna go to Mexico. I think I have to double check that.
Yay for the
So I'm
access
gonna be
bar.
hosting an Access Bars class with him facilitating, and we're going to be streaming it on the telly. Yeah, we're going to be doing bar swaps. So yeah, go check out Access Bars and what that could create for you. It's something that you could learn. It's so easy to learn. It's such a great tool that for you to have in your life. Karen is
Yes,
uh,
I'm doing bars here in the Philippines.
access bars facilitator, so that means she can
Yay!
teach it already. That's super awesome, and I'm grateful to have that tool in my household, because like whenever I get into like a funky space or my partner does, we would just go, oh, could you please run my bars? Or sometimes like we would offer each other, would you like me to run your bars?
That's so cool.
And
Versus fighting.
yes, yes, exactly. So like while we're watching TV, especially those relationship shows,
Mhm.
and it's just, yeah, you just clear everything like as you're watching, instead of cringing at what you're looking at. It's yeah, it's a very fun, easy tool to learn. and
Mhm.
and yeah, for those of you in the Philippines, like, yeah, contact Karen for that. I think there's a
Mhm.
few bars facilitators as well that you could
Yeah,
search
in the
on
Philippines. Yeah.
online. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you have other classes on
Oh
relationships? Because
yes,
you just
yes.
finished a relationship done differently certification, right?
Yes, so I just did a yeah, it's a certified facilitator training for relationship done different. So I'm gonna be posting an intro class on relationships done different, truths and lies attached. Yeah, and I'm planning to do that in a couple of weeks from now. So I'll have that on my public profile in the Access Conscious website, and also excited to facilitate a breaking up is easy-ish.
Wow, I
Yeah,
love it. I love the
it's a
title.
6-hour class that could be facilitated in 2 separate days, 3 hours each, and you get a manual for that with um, packed with tools, pragmatic tools that you could use in your life. And if you want to explore all the more in deep dive, there is also a relationship done different masterclass. That's 2.5 days, or 4 hours a day of 3-day class. Again, with a power packed manual with all
Mhm.
pragmatic tools that you could use on, yeah, how you could create the relationship that you want in your life, or like create greater relationships of what you currently have already.
Mm, that's so cool. And we should really honor relationships. There was a study which asked, parang, what's the number one tool that helps people move forward in their lives? And it's not intelligence or not even emotional quotient. It's really who you know.
Hmm.
So relationships and learning how to deal with people, that's one of the best skill that we need to learn. One of the best skills that we can really, really learn.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's yeah, we, no matter if you say that you don't like people, yeah, we have people around and we do relate to them in some way. But what if there could be a different possibility with you in relationships with yourself and with other people in your life?
Yeah.
If you want to like yeah, like explore something else different, I've just got my book. Is it, I'm not sure if it's backwards. Is it
It
relationship?
is.
Are
It's
you sure you want one?
but it's nice. You can understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been listening to that over and over today to prepare for this interview. But yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
there's an Audible version. I
And there
actually have
is
all of them, like in a hard copy. I have it in the Kindle ebook version, and also have them on the Audible version.
Audible.
So when I'm driving or going for a walk, like I just play it, and yeah, there you
And
go,
it clears so
multitasking.
many things. And it
Yes,
breaks
yeah.
a lot of my barriers.
And every time you read it and you hear it again and again, you hear or see something different that you wouldn't have seen or heard before. And it
So
goes like on a deeper level. So how does it
so
get any
true.
better than that?
Wow, how does it get
Yeah.
any better? But Gian, I would just really acknowledge you. Thank you for sharing all of these tools with us. Like
Thank
no
you.
holds barred. You just shared all the tools, and I felt like you really answered that question. For me, that's a big topic. Love. That's a big word,
Yes,
big topic.
it
And
is.
I
It is.
felt we covered it with these five
Oh, thank
elements that you
you.
shared with us. I felt people are equipped to handle love for themselves and love for another. But of course,
Yeah.
for those who need, for people who need to deepen their understanding of love, who needs to break all the other lies and know more truths about love and relationships, please go to the link for at Access Consciousness for Giancarla, and you can find all her classes there. And if you're in Melbourne, you can go to the Pop,
For
right?
access bars,
The
yes.
Access
That's
Bars.
yeah,
But
in
probably
March.
my last question for you is, because we've been talking about access consciousness and access consciousness tools for almost an hour. Is what's the best gift or most valuable tool that access
Oh
consciousness
wow.
gave you?
If I could just say one,
Yeah.
it's it's being me and having all of me. Yeah, and being able to make choices that are true for me and that work for me. Yeah, without thinking that I'm choosing against something or someone. Yeah. So it's like truly having me,
No.
all of me. And yeah, and when you're being you, like, yeah, what else could you be? What else could you create? Like, who could you be? Like, where could you be if you're truly being you? Like,
No.
truly, there are no limitations and no definitions with that. There's so many things and places that you could go to.
So true. Where could you be when you're truly being you? And it felt like a
True.
warm hug
Yeah.
when you were saying that.
Yeah.
That
When
was
you're
so
truly being you,
heartwarming.
yeah, who could you be? Where would you be? What could you be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you so
Thank
much, Jan.
you
I
so
just want
much.
to hug you.
I'm so
Virtually
grateful
hug
for
you.
you. Yeah, I adore you with you and everything that you do. Like spreading consciousness into the world in different ways and in different forms. So yeah, like we need more people like this, and it allows like the world to have more space as well. So I'm so grateful, and I adore you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jan. I received that. I received that. And warm hug from the
Yes.
Philippines to you.
Yeah.
Mahigpit na
Yeah.
yakap. Thank you so
True, true, true.
much.
Thank
So much
you.
for being so generous all the time and with your wisdom to us. And hope to see you soon and hope to be in one
Yes.
of your classes soon, especially the one with the
Yes.
breakup is easy. That's, I mean, just the
Ish.
title is
Yeah.
mind blowing already. But, oh,
Yeah.
and can't wait. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Oh
Oh my
my.
gosh. Yeah. There's it's such a gift. Like yeah, even with the other access classes that I teach, it's like we said, like it's totally beyond this reality. And it just makes life more easy and more fun. So what
And
else is
today taught us
possible?
that we can create our own reality. Really our
Yes. Yes.
choice. So
Yeah.
fair.
And you are the source of your creation.
I guess we'll end with that.
Yeah,
It's
there's
so
so much
powerful.
space
It's like a
now.
whoosh. Parang you are the
Yeah.
source. Really,
Yeah.
really. My little self is asking, seriously, am I the source? Me? It's all within me.
Yes, 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 you.
Uh,
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, I don't hear exploding brains anymore so far. We'll see in the
yeah.
future for those who watches this in the future. But yeah, so what is your choice of what's true for you in relationship? If I would give you a home play, we don't call it homework, call it home play,
Complain.
is yeah, write down what aspects of relationships actually that you would like to choose and that work for you.
Wow. Sige, we'll do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Gia.
you.
We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
I
Thank you.
feel like
Maraming.
I'm just there.
Yes, you feel so near. You, you
Yeah.
do. Thank you so much for exploding our minds and creating a different reality for all of us listening here, right now, and in the future. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Bye,
Salamat.
bye for now, dear, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone,
Bye.
for being here. Bye. Thank you.